Good day, everyone. The research study that our group are going to review is entitled The Role of Information System in Decision Making on the Case of Jordan Bank. We will begin the presentation by discussing first the introduction and background of study. Ms. Masamoc, please proceed.
Introduction. A successful organization relies heavily on information system to improve its work and achieve its goals. The main objective of information system is helping decision makers by providing accurate and time-based information. Information is considered as a most important ingredient for success decision making in nowadays. Background. Management Information System or MIS provides the right information needed in decision-making process and help the organization's control, planning, and operational functions to be carried out effectively. A study found that the dynamic nature of MIS makes it difficult for some organizations to keep up with the principles, strategies, prepositions, or even ideas. George Huber's theory studied the effects that computer-assisted communication and decision-aiding technologies have on organizational design and decision-making. Felix Alvarado's study describes the ongoing implementation of web intelligence tool in public education and other policy sectors in Guatemala. The study identified a number of problems associated with inefficient data definition and lack of relevant information. The software tools were developed for use in business was adapted for planning and decision making in public institutions. The methodology will be discussed by Ms. Mandasig.
Methodology. For this study, a survey questionnaire was used to describe the situation of a company. The primary and secondary sources will be used to collect information. Data is gathered from magazines, books, and previous published studies of related subjects to readiness, in addition to data gathered from the World Wide Web. A research methodology justifies the techniques adopted for collecting, analyzing, and interpreting data. To analyze whether the hypotheses are accepted or rejected, T-calculated and T-tabulated will be used. For the presentation of findings, Ms. Cruz will be discussed.
Most information system that is used in the bank was identified in table is email and voicemail, since the percentage was 94.9%, and the second information was information system management with percentage of 90%. This high percentage means that the studied bank relies heavily on these two types of information systems. For the hypothesis testing, for hypothesis number 1, the results shows that the easiness variable had the highest variance, which is 0.886, to measure the relationship among the information systems and the quality of decision making, while the accuracy, which is 0.811, had the lowest variance. For hypothesis number 2, to identify the efficiency of the decision making in the Jordan Bank, the researcher has analyzed three dimensions consisted of subdimensions. The first one is time dimension, second, formal dimension, and the third, content dimension.
And for the last hypothesis, the table below shows the multiple regression. It shows that number of factor of information quality explain 39% of the variance and degree of risk in terms of the value of F is statistically significant and the values of T calculated that the effect of the formal dimension and the content dimension was statistically significant while no significant effect of the time dimension in explaining the variation. The table also shows that the dimension of the information quality explains 62% in the variance of the managerial decision quality, and the value of t calculated shows that the effect of the three variables was statistically significant in explaining the variance in the factor of managerial decision. The table also shows that the t values was important. Next, the conclusion discussed by Miss Buendia.
As for the conclusions, this study results show a strong relationship among information systems and decision making. The right use of information systems in the bank helps that bank achieving competitive advantage comparing with other bank in Gordanian environment. The results show a great influence of risk in decision making, where the degree of risk increases when increasing the difficulties of using information system. Fourth, the results also shows a great importance of the participation in decision making. Information systems such as group decision support system, video conferencing, intranet and extranet may help in increasing participation in decision making. Furthermore, this study found that the needed infrastructure for these information systems are available on the bank. And also, this study shows that the easiness variable had the highest variance of measurement than the relationship among information systems and the quality of decision making, while the accuracy had the lowest variance. As for the risk and participation variables, the variance of participation was higher than the risk variable. And as for the quality of information, time dimension was the highest variance and the lowest was the content dimension. The study found that the accuracy of information was the most usable variable in the bank, while the appropriateness was the lowest usable variable in the study population. However, the risk variable was more usable in the bank than the participation variable. As for the quality of the information, time dimension was the most variable used in the bank. Recommendations will be tackled by Ms. Analiza.
Here are the list of recommendations for the studied bank. First, the bank needs a continuous development and improvement of its information, and it also needs to use the latest technology in the field of banking. Second, the need of training course for staff in order to revive their abilities of using information systems and determine the competence of each employee in the IS department. And lastly, field studies in group decision support systems are needed to be implemented in the bank, which helps decision making in the workplace. And in addition, it helps in generating ideas.
That will be all. Thank you.